I have come with the next module, module 9.4. So I told you module 9 is exclusively for learning the computation of income from capital gain. Module 9.1, we have learned the theoretical concepts, how to calculate index cost of acquisition and index cost of improvement. Now module 9.2, we learned with the help of problems how you compute short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain. Module 9.3, we have learned two sections. One is section 54 and section 54B. Now in this module, what we are going to do is section 54D and section 54EC we are going to learn. Both are important either from the theoretical concept or you will get the problems also, adjustment. These sections are important. So this you have to remember that this section is very, very important, and theoretical concepts also you have to remember, and the problem aspects also. So two simple problems I am doing just to make the concepts clear, and difficult problems I will take it in the last module when I am going to do the full computation of capital gain problems. So there are all the items what we learned in the small modules will be there. So I told you section 54D and section 54EC in this module. So section 54D is capital gain on compulsory acquisition of land and building forming part of industrial undertaking. So here you have to remember who can compulsorily acquire the property. It's only the government, maybe for a flyover construction or a metro construction, road widening or anything government want to road widening or anything like that, government want to acquire the property, they have the right to do that. So then what all exemptions are possible for the assessee? Now, what are the conditions for getting exemption under section 54D? Following conditions are to be satisfied to get exemption under this section. Now, first point is taxpayer can be an individual, HUF, firm, company or any other person. Remember other two sections what we learned, it's only possible for individuals and HUF. Here everybody can claim. Individuals can claim, HUF can claim, partnership firm can claim, company can claim or any other person, association of persons, anybody. Now asset can be short term or long term capital asset. Section 54 it's only long term. Section 54B and section 54D it is short term and long term. So when you do the problem, if you want to do the exemption, you should remember that whether it is possible for a short term capital asset or for a long term capital asset. Now next condition is taxpayer must transfer by way of compulsory acquisition of land or building which forms a part of an industrial undertaking. So here you have to remember government has compulsorily acquired the land and building which was part of assessee's industrial undertaking. So I told you compulsory acquisition is possible by government. Now capital gain is generated on the transfer. Whatever compensation they received, they got some capital gain. Now continuing, such land or building was used by the assessee as an industrial undertaking for at least 2 years preceding the date of compulsory acquisition. So where you have learned this 2 years condition, section 54B also, agricultural land, it is at least 2 years. Assessee or his parent should be utilizing it for agricultural purposes. So here also the condition you remember, this land and building was used by the assessee as part of his industrial undertaking at least 2 years preceding the date of compulsory acquisition. Now, next condition is assessee has purchased any land or building within a period of 3 years. So, here the condition is 3 years. House property, when we learned, it's residential house properties 1, 2 and 3. Here it is a condition of 3 years from the date of receipt of compensation or constructed a building within such period. So, 3 years exemption he can claim. Now, newly acquired land or building should be used for the purpose of shifting or re-establishing the said undertaking or setting up another industrial undertaking. So possibilities are there. Either he can purchase one or he can construct one or he can reshift to another place. So all these options are possible. He can claim the exemption. So that is newly acquired land or building should be used for the purpose of shifting or re-establishing. Either he has shifted the industrial unit to that new one or he has re-established. He has taken all the furniture, all the equipments and all, he has entered there or he has started the manufacturing process or the industrial activity from there. Now the said undertaking or setting up another industrial undertaking. That meaning this is shifted to the new place. Next is amount of exemption. So the new land and building is transferred within a period of 3 years. From the date of its acquisition or completion of construction, amount of exemption given earlier under section 54D would be taken back. So this consequence is same. We have seen that section 54, it's 3-year lock-in period. 54B also 3-year lock-in period. Section 54D also 3-year lock-in period. So this 3 years is general condition for all the section 54. Now he is not allowed to transfer that whatever industrial undertaking he has re-established. He cannot transfer it. There is a lock-in period of 3 years. Now problem to establish this concept. A factory land was purchased by Mr. A for 50 lakhs in May 2015 for his manufacturing unit. In June 2019, this manufacturing unit was compulsorily acquired by government for metro road widening for a compensation of 75 lakhs. So 2015 and 2019, it's long term. This exemption is possible if it is short term or long term. Now in July 2019, he can claim exemption for 3 years. But he is claiming June he sold it, in July he bought. So he is eligible for exemption. He purchased another manufacturing unit for a cost of rupees 15 lakhs and shifted his manufacturing unit there. So 15 lakhs he has invested. Now compute the taxable capital gain after allowing exemption under section 54D. CII for 2015-16 is 254, 2019-20 is 301. Now the solution, table showing the computation of taxable capital gain of Mr. A for the assessment year 2021. So sale consideration is 75 lakhs less expenses on sale. It is not there. So I told you in the format it is there, whether that expense on sale is there or not. Now net sale consideration is 75 lakhs less index cost of acquisition. It's index cost because it's long term. 50 lakhs into 301 divided by 254. 254 is the index for 15-16 assessment year. So 59 lakhs 25,197. Now it's long term because 2015 and 2019. So 15 lakhs 74,803 is the long term capital gain. Now less exemption under section 54D, amount invested in new manufacturing unit is 15 lakhs. He can take 3 years, but within 1 month he bought that. So he is eligible for exemption. Taxable LTCG is 74 lakhs 803. So now we are moving to the next section, 54EC, capital gain not to be charged on investment in certain securities. Now capital gain cannot be charged if the assessee is investing in 2 specific securities. One is National Highways Authority of India, then second is Rural Electrification Corporation. So we will learn this in detail. So conditions, following conditions are to be satisfied to claim this exemption. That meaning, assessee is not, after selling a capital asset, he is not buying another capital asset. He is investing in these securities. So he can claim exemption. Following conditions are to be satisfied to claim this exemption. So first one is, this exemption can be an individual, firm, company or any other person. So it's not only individual and HUF. Individuals can claim, partnership firm can claim, company can claim or any other person can claim. Now, a long-term capital asset is transferred by the assessee during the previous year. So, any capital asset is sold by the assessee. Then, investment in specified asset should be made within 6 months from the date of transfer of the asset. See, in the case of National Capital Gain Account Scheme, we have seen that before filing the income tax returns, he has to invest in the capital gain deposit scheme. Here, you have to remember that within 6 months, he has to invest in the securities. The assessee should invest the entire or any part of capital gain in long-term specified assets. Either the entire capital gain purchased or whatever long-term capital gain he is going to claim as exemption. Now, long-term specified assets means any security redeemable after 5 years. So, lock-in period of 5 years is there. If you are buying the security and claiming these 2 securities and he is claiming exemption, he cannot sell it for 5 years. The 2 securities are National Highways Authority of India. In the question paper, you can see short forms. So, in the question also, I have used NHAI. Similarly, Rural Electrification Corporation, REC. So, that also you have to remember. REC Limited. Now, what is the amount of exemption? Amount of capital gain generated on transfer of capital asset or the amount invested in specified assets mentioned above, whichever is lower. That meaning, whatever capital asset, capital gain you got, you can invest in the securities. If any excess amount is there, you have to pay the capital gain tax. Now these securities must be issued on or after 1/4/2018. That is also you have to remember. Date of issue is important. Maximum investment is restricted to 50 lakhs. You can save only 50 lakhs exemption through this. Now consequences of withdrawal. The other sections consequences 3 years. There is a lock-in period of 3 years. Now here you remember, if the long-term specified asset is transferred or converted into money before the expiry of the period of security, what will be the consequence? Amount of exemption claimed under section 54 EC shall be deemed as long-term capital gain in the previous year in which the long-term specified asset is transferred or converted. So if it's converted into money before the expiry, so what is the expiry period? We have seen that in the last slide. So within, they have to keep that for 5 years. So before 5 years, if they're converting, if they're transferring to another person, if they're taking a loan, anything like that, they have to pay the capital gain tax, which they claimed exemption earlier. So the next point is, if any loan or advance is taken against the long-term specified asset, then the same should be deemed as converted into money on the date on which such loan or advance is taken. So here you have to remember that even if they're taking the securities, we can pledge and we can take a loan. So if you're taking a loan, it's as good as converting it into cash. So there also you have to pay the capital gain which you claimed exemption earlier. Now the second problem, Mr. A purchased a plot of land in 2002 and 3 for 4 lakhs and it was sold on 15/4/2019. So here you remember 2002 and 2019, it's long term. So he paid 20,000 as brokerage. So expenses on sale is there. He invested 1 lakh in securities issued by National Highways Authority of India on 31/7/2019. 6 months lock-in, within 6 months he has to invest. So he sold in 15/4 is April. Now he invested in 7, that meaning in July. So that meaning within 6 months he has invested in NHAI securities and 2 lakhs in securities issued by REC or the Rural Electrification Corporation on 1/8/19. So it's in August within 6 months. So that is he can claim the exemption. 6 months important, 6 months you have to see whether he has invested in 6 months. So both notified under section 54 EC. Compute the taxable amount of capital gain if CII for 2002 and 3 is 105 and for 2019 and 20 is 301. Now we are going to do the problem. Table showing the computation of taxable capital gain of Mr. A for the assessment year 2021. Sale consideration 14 lakhs 80,000. Less brokerage 20,000. Net sale consideration 14 lakhs 60,000. Now less index cost. Index cost is the cost at which it was purchased. 4 lakhs into 301 divided by 105. 11 lakhs 46,667. Long-term capital gain is 3 lakhs 13,333. Less exemption under section 54 EC. 2 investments he has made within 6 months. So both he can claim. One NHAI is 1 lakh and REC is 2 lakhs. So 3 lakhs he can claim. Taxable LTCG is 13 lakhs 33,000. 13,333. So that is the taxable LTCG. So now comparing section 54 and 54 EC. Applicability, both 54D, any SSE can claim, 54 EC also, any SSE can claim. Now asset sold, 54D is any compulsory acquisition of long-term or short-term capital asset by the government. Compulsory acquisition, land and building in an industrial undertaking. 54 EC, any long-term capital asset. So any long-term capital asset, if he has got money up to 50 lakhs, he can invest in these two securities, that is NHAI and REC. New asset, shifting or re-establishing the old unit or setting up another industrial undertaking. So that he has to remember, he is establishing, re-establishing or setting up another industrial undertaking. Now section 54 EC, the two securities, the National Highways Authority of India and Rural Electrification Corporation or notified bonds. Next is condition 54D within a period of 3 years from the date of receipt of compensation or construct a building within such period. 3 years, within 3 years he has to construct that or he has to re-establish that. 54 EC, amount invested should be within 6 months from the date of sale. So 54 EC is important, it's only 6 months, 54D is 3 years. Now exemption, capital gain or the amount invested, whichever is, or the amount deposited in the capital gain deposit scheme. Capital gain or the amount invested, whichever is less, or the amount deposited in the capital gain deposit scheme. So that is for 54D. 54EC, capital gain or the amount invested, whichever is less. So that is either the capital gain he received or whatever amount he invested in the securities, two securities. So if there is any excess, he has to pay the tax, and maximum exemption is 50 lakhs. This two sections 54D and 54EC, we have learned the theoretical concepts and one problem each just to establish the concept with the help of problem. Now the difficult adjustments you will get when we are doing the full problems. So please remember that this is important. Now I am telling you, I have introduced my YouTube channel, that is Alice Mani Educational Videos. I told you I used to write books. So I used to write commerce books. I almost some 100 textbooks. My books were very popular. I'm not self-praising, but I used to uh, design my textbook from the examination point of view. All the university questions I used to work out. So like that it was very student friendly. So the same concept I'm using for videos also. So this will be more helpful. So if you want to learn income tax from the beginning, uploading all the videos in the income tax, that my YouTube channel, and you can learn the subject. Whenever you get time, you can watch these videos and you can learn the subject. And then other subjects also I'm going to do that. So it will be really helpful for the students. So thank you for watching. Keep safe, stay safe, and we will see with the next module. Thank you.